Hello everyone. This is going to be a tutorial on how to transition from intuitive F2L to advanced F2L. This is something that I used to break the sub 20 barrier, and I think it's useful for anybody, I'd say around sub 25, and definitely if you want to be sub 20, and if you're around if you're sub 15, this shouldn't be a video for you because you should be doing advanced F2L almost every time. Like, intuitive F2L shouldn't be a thing for you. I see a lot of people having a tough time going through advanced F2L, so I'm really just going to lay out the tips right off the bat. Ignore F2L videos, look at alg sheets, and go through each case step by step, and then honestly just drill the alg. And the way to drill the alg is just set up the case, and then just practice it in solves. And my advice would be willing to throw away solves for the sake of learning the case. So, like, if you get this case that you're learning in a solve, and you get here, and let's say you're about to PB, right? And you get this, and your muscle memory is telling you to solve it intuitively, like how you normally do it, and you learned a new alg from the alg sheet. Throw that solve away and figure out how to do, or try to remember how to do the pair. You know what I mean? Because it's worth it. And so that's basically all the tips right off the bat. So if you don't want to watch the whole video, hey, that's it. But I am going to go through a few cases and a few words, kind of just what I think about it. So intuitive F2L, right off the bat, you know what it is. It's very much just identifying the corner, identifying the edge, and trying to pair them up the best way that you can to obviously make a 3-move insert. So for this case, right, you have the corner here, the edge here, and you very much just do that, and you have a 3-move insert. But the difference for somebody doing advanced F2L, right, is this to them would be a case, and for this individual case, they would have an algorithm that they can do, like, with their eyes closed, like, and this allows them to do things like look ahead, and, like, it gives them options for their solves, basically. But it's just something that they have learned to identify that you have not learned to identify yet. And so, like, there's a case for this. Let's see. Like, this is a case. And then the same thing with about how a 3-move insert, even though this is just like, oh, it's the classic 3-move insert, this is a case that it's just a 3-move insert. You know what I mean? And it's really simple when you think of it that way. But then you get around to cases like the one I just showed off, like this, right? Where this, to somebody who's doing intuitive F2L, just looks like, oh man, this is a tough case that, like, normally I'm not really sure how to solve it. So I would, like, break up the pair, and then I would solve it like how I know how to with this insert, where I move that in the back and then I pair it up, right? But, let's see, is that it? But like I said, with the advanced F2L version, they know this case where the edge is here and this is matching. So they would know to do, I don't know if I did it already, but U prime, or not, oh my god, right off the bat, U, R, U prime, R prime, U prime, R, U prime, and look, and that's the insert, you know what I mean? And here's another example where, like, for this case, this is kind of tricky because it's another one where the corner and the edge are connected, and you're not really sure what to do unless you've encountered it before. So your first instinct as an intuitive solver is to break that up, and look, you're back with this case where you would just do that and then pair them up like that, right? But all you would need to do once you identify this case and learn the alg is an R, U2, R prime, and look, that sets it up for the 3-move insert, and you're good. But a lot of people aren't gonna think to do a lot of people aren't going to just think, oh, I should split this pair up with an R2. You know what I mean? So, like, they kind of just need that little hint, and that's where you get an alg sheet. And I'm going to throw it up on the screen right now, and you'll kind of see what I'm talking about. So all you would do is, let's say you want to learn how to do this. First, you would just go set this up, or pick an alg, and any alg for this case will set it up to this case if you do it backwards. So, like, oh, hold on, I have this pulled up, actually. So this would be R, U, R prime, U prime, R, U, R prime, and then it would be U, and then R, U, R prime, U. And see, there you go. And that's just the first alg off the list that I put on the screen, okay? And then you would just pick another alg that seems the best to you, and I'm gonna pick the first alg because it's the one that I use, and boop, 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 boop. I'm not gonna say the whole alg again. But, and there you go. And that's basically what advanced F2L is just learning algs for each individual case that you have learned to identify. And the same thing with that one that I did before, this one. This is another case that you would have to learn where the corner and the edge are touching, but these are, like, this is opposite right here. You know, or like these aren't matching, not opposite. But this would be the R, U2, R prime, and then U prime, like that. How I would advise you go about this is I would read every case that's on the F2L sheet. So like this is going to be on the F2L sheet. And the most efficient way to solve this is R, U, R prime. And that's it. So guess what? Your intuitive way of solving was right. Congrats. And the same thing with this. This is a 3-move insert where it's just U, R, U prime, R prime. Oh, I guess it's a 4-move. But you get what I mean? But then you get into the trickier cases like, let's see, let's pick another one. Or even, here, let's just, okay, well here, let's literally just do this. Where the corner is here and the edge is here. You would know that if you ever stumble upon this, right, where, let's say, this is here and you have a white corner up, you would know to match that up. If you can deduce that this is red back here, you would be able to go and solve it. So I would advise going through each one of these and seeing how would I solve it, because most likely it's going to be doing something like what am I trying to do? Oh, what am I trying to do? There we go. Oh my God, why is that so hard? But like most likely you're going to do something like what I just did, where you're going to try to break them up and then pair them up. But it's really cool where like you can do something like this, right? Where like I'm going to set it up like this. But like your first instinct to do this would be rotate, break it up, and then pair it up. But there's a rotationless way to do it, which is just R prime, U2, R2, and then U, R2, and then U, R to do that. You see what I mean? And I would go through all these alg sheets, like I said, see how you would solve it, and then see how the alg sheet would solve it. And just do that for all of them. And you don't, I think I did, here, let me look at the sheet real quick. I think I did down to edge in the slot. Or, no, I did down a corner in the slot. I didn't do on Jperm sheet. I didn't do any of the section 1C. And that got me pretty far. And even then, I still have to go back, and I'm learning ZZ F2L now, so I have to find a ZZ F2L sheet. But I'm literally going to do the same thing that I did for advanced F2L, where I just go through the cases, and then I see how would I solve it, and then how would they solve it. So the next step, how do you drill these algs, right? So you basically just do what I just did, where you set up the case, and you go, okay, I would solve it like that now, okay? But the most important step, right, is to just do practice solves over and over again. And like, basically just don't solve last layer. Just like solve F2L and then just scramble again. So like, and then here, let's see. So like, okay, so like, all right, so let's look around, right? Sorry, I've never looked through a viewfinder. So like, I see this edge in this corner. I know if I do this, and see, look, I knew that this blue needed to be here to match up with that corner, right? So I could just do, see, look, first pair. And now what do I see next? So this one's interesting because if I rotate and see how I have this, if the corner's facing here and these aren't matching, you can break them up like that. And that becomes a 3-move insert. And let's see, what else we got? Okay, so this one, where these are matching on top, if you have it like this, you can break them up like that and you can pair, it turns into that, and you usually have to rotate, but I can just put it in the back spot. And then for this, let's see. Oh, and then this is also a weird case where like a lot of people do just do this, where they take it out and then they do that. But I usually don't like to rotate, so I would do U prime, R prime. I think it's a sledge, so F, R, F prime, and that brings the edge up for you, and then you insert. LOL dot, I don't know dot cases, and I've been doing ZZ, so I don't know this either. Let's see what's up. Okay, this is this COLL, and let's see. Oh. And there we go. But oh, I didn't mean to solve last layer, but yeah, just go through F2L and just when you identify a case you don't know. So like, sorry, I don't mean to go through another scramble. I won't solve last layer this time. So like, oh, that was easy cross. Okay, so like, whoop, let me see. Okay, so like for this pair, for example, you go, you can pair it up like this. See, and that sets it up to this 3-move insert. And what's next? Okay, so I had to peek. That's bad, don't peek. And then we rotate to get this pair in the back. Oh, it sets up to this pair, that's nice. And then what's next? Oh, and then for this is a nice slot case. You just pair it up like that. I do know, oh. But yeah, you basically just identify cases, and when you find one that you don't know, just go learn it. And just mess around. Just see how many you can learn. And like, don't stress yourself out. So like, oh, I gotta learn a new F2L alg for, you know, I don't gotta learn the whole sheet right now. But that's really all you gotta do. And that's how I learned advanced F2L. And honestly, it was really great because, like I said, it took me to sub 20. And it really stopped me from like doing this. It really stopped me from doing this. And like, it helped me identify what to do during F2L, and it made me more secure in like what I was supposed to do in my solves. And now I can just identify. So, and it's kind of like how my solves are now, even like through the camera, where like I can kind of just see what's going on, and that was a bad cross. Okay, so like even like this, so like I know for this pair, if I just do these triggers and R prime, it sets it up and then pair in the back. And like, do you see how your solves can become a lot more fluid from advanced F2L? So this is something I highly recommend, and something that honestly you can have a lot of fun with. CFOP becomes a lot more interesting when you start learning F2L. And oh, so here's a good example. See how we got that pair where this is matching? So you notice how these are the same, right? If you do that thing from before with the R2, you get this bad case. So what I do is I rotate, and I do that case from before. I just mirror it, and there we go. And then we get, whoop. Let's see, what do we get? Oh, and Yperm, sick. All right, but yeah, so that's gonna be about the end of the video. I hope this helped you. Because like I said, this was probably the biggest step forward that I took in my solving, and it definitely improved everything that I did. But yeah, also drill your triggers, like drill sexy move, drill sledgehammer, drill, just do sunes over and over again, do R, U2, R prime, try to do them from all angles, and just like, oh, like for this alg, like, sorry, my fingertips are bad, but like, really just get used to keeping your hands here and just doing this. Oh my god, I'm really, again, looking through the camera and my hands are like dead on a table. But really, just try to improve your finger tricks besides doing PLL and OLL, because like really simple things, like even doing sunes over and over again. Or like I'm learning COLL and it's all just RUR prime triggers and things like that. And it's real, like your solves will improve immensely. Also, learn F2L algs that are rotationless. That's also really nice because who needs more rotations in their solves? And really, just try to focus and don't panic in your solves. That really helps too. But yeah, hope this helps. Have a good one. Bye.